Today we have assembled after maybe 2.5 years. Instead of virtual, the physical speaker and chairperson is there. Respected member secretary Sachidananda, who is not present but who is the inspiration of all our program, and our very dynamic and enthusiastic director Prof Anirban Das ji, and today's speaker is Professor Shobha Rani from Professor in Buddhist Studies in Otani University, Kyoto. And today our chairperson is Professor Shashibala ji. And amongst us another very well-known scholar, Professor Udayanath Shah of JNU University, and all our national manuscript, my colleagues. National Mission for Manuscripts, everybody knows that it is from 2003. We are doing a lot of job in locating the manuscripts all over the country, because India has a rich heritage of manuscript heritage full of knowledge. And then location, then digitization, documentation, digitization and dissemination of knowledge. Apart from that, Mission organizes outreach program, whether in workshop form or the seminar forms or Tattvabodh lectures form. And today it's a Tattvabodh lecture. Every month Mission organizes a Tattvabodh lecture. Last 2.5 years we are doing the virtual form. Speaker and chairperson were virtual. And today, after 2.5 years, we are having the physical presence of everybody. I would invite our director, Professor Das, to welcome our speaker, and Professor Shobha Rani Das, and our chairperson, Professor Shashibala ji. Flowers. I would like to call Meenu to welcome them with Angavaska on behalf of NNL. Our time limit for Tattvabodh lecture is 3 to 4. That's why I don't want to waste any time. We want to listen to speaker and all. Little bit of I will talk about speaker and chairperson, because there's so many things to say about Professor Shobha Rani Das and Professor Shashibala. Professor Shobha Rani Das is currently Professor, Department of Buddhist Studies, Otani University, Japan. She is the Chief of Otani University Collection of Buddhist Manuscripts. She is the Research Fellow, International Buddhist Studies Project. She is the member of the Board of International Academic Relations. She is Distinguished Professor, Watson University, Hyderabad. And her main field of research is Buddhist studies with a special focus on women and gender transformation problem. Another thing is manuscriptology with a main focus on the palm leaf manuscripts of Orissa and Southeast Asia. And scholarships and awards, so many. I wanted to make it a small gist. All throughout her career as a student, and thereafter she has been recognized with important fellowships and scholarships in India and abroad. Even scientific research grant for creative and pioneering research work awarded by Japan Society for the Promotion of Science, JSPS. Professor Das is the recipient of Prabhashi Bhasha Samman 2021. She had been the visiting professor in Heidelberg University, Germany a number of times in 2010, 2011, 2013. Professor Das has authored many books and published a number of articles which are recognized and respected by international scholars of Buddhism. And now I'll talk about the chairperson, Professor Shashibala, because all of us are eager to listen to the speaker and then to chairperson. Professor Shashibala ji, everyone knows her as Professor Das is that main Buddhism epitome in Japan, and Professor Shashibala in India. And she's a renowned Indologist and Dean of K.M. Munshi Center of Indology at Bharatiya Vidya Bhawan. She is recipient of the highest civilian state award of Mongolia and author of more than 25 books and 100 articles. She specializes in India's cultural contributions to the world. Recently, she edited the English-Sanskrit dictionary made by Acharya Raghuvira before 1947, but she edited and make it contemporary. And what to say, every week how many lectures she delivers on Buddhism and Indology related, everybody knows that. And I would like to invite our speaker today, Professor Shashibala Das, to start. Extremely sorry, Shobha Rani Das. And we are very eager to listen to you. You can take 40 minutes, 3:45. Thank you.
So, namaste everybody, and thank you for your speaker. And thank you so much for coming to listening. I don't know whether that is up to your expectation or not, but it will be just sharing some information. And I'm very thankful to Director NMM, Professor Anirban Das, and all my friends here to give me such unique opportunity to connect India and Japan and say few words. So, why I said that to connect India and Japan, we are talking about manuscriptology. That after my presentation, perhaps you get some idea of that. And so, I think all of you know, but I would like to congratulate myself, and I would like to congratulate NMM also. And thanks to Bhaveji also and other friends also here, who were very who have gave their time and energy to make this possible to have the MOU signed between Otani University and NMM. So that is why in the beginning I would like to, because now we are academic, we have the academic collaboration, and perhaps most of you must not be knowing where Otani University is. In day before yesterday's gathering, somebody asked me where is it, in Delhi. So I think now it is my kind of duty to show you a small glimpse of what kind of university it is and its connection with India. Then I will proceed towards the manuscriptology, because that is also related to India. Thank you so much. And I will try my best to do that. So this is Otani University, and Japanese Buddhist temples and academic institutions, actually academic institutions affiliated to the temples, they have been playing a very significant role since the time of the introduction of Buddhism to Japan in 6th century AD, and in promoting the Buddhist culture and religion in Japan with a number of Indian culture and Indian cultural aspects therein. Actually, it is not only Buddhism. And one may find a number of deities worshipped in Japan in their everyday life, like Ganesha, Saraswati, and Kudera, and there are many actually. And we have, with my colleagues, we have been working on Kudera and Saraswati since the last 8 years, and have got experience on them. And perhaps if there is a chance in future, I would like to share that also with all of you. And now I come to Otani University. So this is the main building and the oldest surviving building of Otani University. And it doesn't look at all like Japanese building with Japanese architecture, as you can see. So it was established actually in 1665, and so Otani University, one of such noted institutions that helped in the promotion of Buddhism and Indian culture in Japan, and it has been going there since the more than last 350 years. And it was established as a small seminary, very small seminary by the Nikasidenganji, the denomination of Shin Buddhism. It's a pure Buddhist sect in Japan, and subsequently it was reorganized as a modern university in 1901. So recently we have celebrated 128 years of our modernization. And but now it is just after 1901, it is just like any other academic university having various disciplines, not only restricted to Buddhism, but Buddhist spirit and thoughts are there in the base of every teaching, at least for the first year students, even if they are from the computer science department. So this is one of the photos I got from our archives in early 1900s, our original, and this is in color actually. And this is Higashi Temple in Kyoto, and this is the main gate. So when you go through this main gate, you see the main hall. Main hall. And when you go here straight inside, then you find the main shrine there. So priest Shibra is the founder of that in 14th century, and since then it has been disseminating education and religion and I should say philosophy in Japan. And you'll be happy to know that Otani University has a long-term relationship with India, and some of the national figures also visited Otani University. You can see the same red building that I showed you in front of that is in 1924. Kaviguru Rabindranath Tagore visited us, and in 1958, Dr. Rajendra Prasadji, our first president, so he also visited. And during that time, actually, we'll be more happy to know that he was an honorary PhD degree was conferred on him. And you can see Dr. Rajendra Prasadji, after receiving the PhD degree, he is wearing the clerical robe of the Jyotish of Pure Buddhism. And this is his PhD degree certificate. This is his PhD. This is also from our archive, and it is in the red place. It is written. It is he received the first degree, PhD, honorary PhD degree from our university. And I personally, being an Indian, I feel very proud, very happy for that always whenever I see that. And then he delivered a speech after that. I just took one line from his speech that he said that Otani University's tradition and the study of Buddhism resembled to the great appearance of Nalanda University. And of course, that was a great honor for us to hear such words from him. And then in 1960, Ambassador to India, His Excellency C.P.M. Singh ji, he also visited, and at that time he was given the second PhD degree. Second PhD degree was conferred on him, and after this is his PhD degree. And in 1968, His Holiness Dalai Lama he also visited us. So you can see a very young Dalai Lama here. And because later I will tell you, because we have a very huge collection of Tibetan Peking edition manuscripts that was brought from Tibetan Maniland in 1900, in between 1914 to 80 by one of our professors from Otani University. And then we have also the August visit of many ambassadors from Indian Embassy in Tokyo, like His Excellency Mr. Prof ji, and then Maniram Tripathi ji, and then Vikas Swarup ji when he was the Consul General. So actually there are some more. I'll just do three just to show you this connection in India. And this is the Peking edition Tibetan Tripitaka that we have. So it's a replica of that, and we give sometimes when we have guests as a gift. And apart from that, we have a class. It's in our curriculum. Students get 2 credits for that. It's called the Religions and Culture of India. So every year the student go attend 14 hours in the classroom, and then rest 15 days they spend in India. And you can see in 2019, where they are invited by the Central Institute of Tibetan Studies, and our director, Professor Das, is also there with us. And I think he was instrumental to organize all these things. And then our students also got some sample classes of spoken Sanskrit from him during our stay there for 2 days. And this September we will be visiting again after the pandemic. The most glorious day came to us in 2022. March, we were given the award for the promotion of Buddhist studies, and the first award declared by IGNCA, Government of India, to receive by foreign countries. And our Vice Chancellor has been given that by our Ambassador of Japan. And so this is just a glimpse of the award ceremony. And Madam Ambassador is also here, and Assistant is here. And then during that time, they enshrined one Buddha statue in our university. So it was made in India, and it was all the way sent to the university, and just in front of the library, it has been enshrined. So the selection of Otani University as the first recipient of this global award is, needless to say, as we have already seen some glimpses of that, the result of more than 350 years of education and research based on the spirit of Buddhism, while working towards an understanding of Indian thought and culture. So it's not only Buddhism, but giving in the base it is always Indian thought and culture, and that is why we send students to come to India, know India, to feel with their 5 senses Indian culture and language and people. Then only they can understand why Buddhism prospered in India. So that's the main reason for that. And so accumulated over the last more than 3 centuries since the university's inception. So this award has given us, with this award, it was, I should say, it was not over with that. It was a new beginning for us in last year it happened. So with this award, it has given us a great responsibility to carry on this legacy and further develop the traditions of the university connected to India. And our manuscript research project, about that I will tell you later. So it is a designated research project by the Vice Chancellor, and Vice Chancellor, after this award ceremony, he declared that we should have one special designated research project only on Buddhist manuscripts, because they are all written in Pali language and other in Sanskrit and Pali language, and we have Tibetan, of course, as I said in 1914. So this research project is to fulfill a part of this great responsibility of receiving this award. And Otani University has a rich collection of palm and paper manuscripts covering a wide range of languages, scripts, and texts, including Tibetan, Pali, Sanskrit, classical Chinese, classical Japanese, and there are some other. So. And we have some some scholars who are working on Mongolian Buddhism also, and inscriptions. They are working most of and excavations also, Buddhist excavations. And among them, the Southeast Asian palm manuscripts written in Pali that draw the attention of the scholars, and it is one of the largest collections in Japan. So the manuscripts are written in Pali language and in different ancient scripts like Khmer, Burmese, Moor, and Lama, and Sinhala. So just to give you an overview of the thing, you can see Otani repository and manuscript, palm leaf and paper we have, and old books and others. In others we have documents, wood block prints, wrapping cloth of the Indic manuscripts. We are having a separate sub-project under this manuscript project, working only on the texture and the religious aspects of the wrapping clothes. To curators of textile clothes who are specialists in textile, they are working on that. And here you can see this Indic manuscript that I just told you, that Kumer, Gorgi, Simanis and Varna we have. And we have many paper manuscripts also from Nepal, and coded manuscripts from Thailand, and many very old Japanese scrolls, Buddhist scrolls from 7th to 8th century. And in the old books, there are more than 150,000 in Chinese, classical Chinese and classical Japanese, then made from 1600 to 1912. And I would like to show you just one clip from this others category. So, Japan's first printed meter, that was in 768 AD, and this is how it looks like. So this is a small pagoda, and this is a dharani. This dharani is scrolled into a very small hole and has been put inside this. You can see the bottom. So through that, it has been inserted inside. And the Empress Shotoku, who was the first woman empress of Japan, and who was a Buddhist nun, and in the same time she was reigning the country, kingdom also, very special figure. And in 764 AD, after the suppression of the rebellion, 1 million wooden stupas she commissioned to make. So each one containing a dharani there inside it, with the belief that it would eliminate the sins. Since they have killed many people in the war and to suppress the rebellion, and to help to earn lots of merits and maintain the security and peace of the kingdom of the empire. So that was the main reason for that. And this is our museum where we display these manuscripts. Sometimes we have projects on that. And the research wing of Otani University is called the Shin Buddhist Comprehensive Research Institute. So this year, last year, we celebrated the 40th year of its establishment, and it has many designated research projects going on. And this Otani University Collection Buddhist Manuscript Research Project is just one of that. The newest one, the most recent one. So I will show you some of the clippings from our repository. So this is Mahabodhi Dosa, 16th to 17th century, and in Singhal. It is in Pali language, but Singhal is and so then we have Prasannapada, the commentary to Madhyamika Karika, original of Nagarjuna, and this 17th to 19th century. Perhaps Professor Das can give us some new dates. We are not sure. They are all from Nepal. We have got them from Nepal. And then Lalita Vistara also we have. That is 18th to 20th century. So, and as I told you, the ambassador of India was getting this gift of this painting as a replica of this Peking edition, Tibetan manuscript. Sorry, Tripitaka. So then we have both. Yeah, and many extra canonical texts also. And then you can see this is Yogachara Bhumi Shastra and 739 in classical Chinese. So actually, whoever studies Buddhism in Japan, we must learn classical Chinese, because the Sanskrit manuscripts were they were damaged. There are many reasons. They say intentionally some are by cutting the fire, anyway. So they are not there. So why we are having all these manuscripts, and they collected these manuscripts, Tibetan and classical Chinese is there, to reconstruct the Sanskrit, the lost parts of the Sanskrit, so that we can at least come closer to the original text. That's the reason behind it.
Languages.
Classical Chinese. And this is the catalog that we should have got. I have already given a copy to NMM. So this catalog was made in 1995. It is only the palm leaf manuscripts, around 900 entries roughly like here, and only the palm leaf manuscripts of Pali we have here, and in all the 4 scripts. So I have taken some clips. If you are interested, please see the colored photos from in the catalog. We have some given some of them. And this palm leaf manuscript in Kumer Street we have. This is Dhamma Sangani in Kumer Street. And then in Burmese Street, it is Mukkappa, one of the Jataka stories in Burmese Street. And this is in Mon Street. This is Pali Muttaka Vinaya Vinichaya Sangaha Nishaya. It is a Nishaya, it's the commentary mixed with the hybrid of the local language. And this is palm leaf manuscripts in Lana Street of Tattvabodh. So that is known as Dhatu, so the Danta Dhatu. There is the narratives of that. And it has a colophon of 1750. And when I was in Thailand, I talked to some of the scholars. They said that this much old Tattvabodh, they don't have it in central Thailand. So because it was transmitted to them from Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka, they don't have that old one. So now they have offered some projects to do together, and after digitization, we will start working on that. A comparative study of the Tattvabodh of different Buddhist cultures. And we have actually, we grouped that into 2 groups. The first group has 64 bundles. 64 bundles doesn't mean just 64 texts. 64 bundles actually it will count around little less 780 or 780 something is there. So text entries are there. That I will show you later. So perhaps I will show you here. So you see there are many here. Here you can see. Yeah, so it is called Phuk, and this big bundle is called Mat. So in one Mat they have many texts actually. Sometimes the one part of the one Dighanika, Golab Dighanika, sometimes you may find, or sometimes if the text is small, then they keep 2 or 3 from the Tripitaka together. So it depends actually. And they don't tie that with this Mat is not tied, but the Phuks, the small bundles inside you can see with the threads, they are tied, and they keep it separate. So we have most of them in Khmer script, and 59 bundles, and Burmese script 4 bundles, 4 Mat again, and then Moon script we have only 1 bundle. And the first group of manuscripts that is all in Pali language, but the scripts are different. And I'm not going to use the laser point anymore, so please bear with me. And the first group of manuscripts, you can see it is quite long, just very typical of the Southeast Asian manuscripts of Thailand, and 53 to 60 centimeter and 5.1 to 5.5 centimeter lines. And the edges are painted in gold or in vermilion and gold, and there are 11 manuscripts that have beautifully painted copper boards, wooden plants, most of them on a black lacquer background and gold on that. So I'll just show you one. So these edges are painted in gold, and you can see there is a pattern here. So this is very typical of Southeast Asian manuscripts, particularly Thailand. From this pattern you can decipher the date of the manuscript. It belongs to the Ayutthaya period. So and another thing is that it makes your work easier to know whether any hook from this mark has been displaced or damaged, because then the pattern is broken. So and it looks beautiful anyway. So and these are the 11 wooden planks we have that they are used to brace so like 20 to 30, 12 to 15 hooks together. They are placed between two wooden planks, and there are no string holes here because they are not really tied. They are just braced and then tied with the wrapping cloth. That is why we are working on the wrapping clothes also as the accessories. And the second group of manuscripts, they are not in good condition. The first group are very good condition, and they are from the royal collection of Thailand. And the second group from the northern Thailand, they are in Lana script. Most of them are in Lana script, and you can see the size is also very small compared to the first group. And the oldest one, as I showed you, it is from 1750. And the majority of them are Jataka studies in Hong Kong. And so, to summarize, I can say that the Otani, the Pali manuscripts of Otani collection, we have commentary, sub-commentary, and sub-commentaries, Tika and Anutika, Tagatha, Tika and Anutika, and Abhidharma. Most of them are Abhidharma. And many Jataka stories we have, and one is Panyasa Jataka, the 50 Jataka, that is extra canonical Jatakas developed in Southeast Asia, and that part already the work has been done. And many extra canonical texts we have that they were written in Sri Lanka and Southeast Asian countries, but not in India. The language is Pali. So this Khmer script is called Khum in Thai. And they use the northern Thailand is Lana script, and that is called Tham. It is from Dham, and they call Tham. And every book is of 24 leaves, and sometimes you have 23 or 32 as we have also in our collection. But why? Because when it is not complete with 24 leaves, then just add some more or less one, make less one from that. And the pagination they use the consonants instead of the new letters. So so this using this this name, giving Lana is called Tham, Lana is called Dhamma, Dhamma script. They call it Dhamma script. So why it is, you see, these kind of things, we can see the influence of Buddhism on the Brahmin inscriptions also. Perhaps we don't know if Buddhism was not there, perhaps Ashoka would not have created Brahmin script, which we don't know. And then we know that in Sri Lanka how Buddhism has a great influence on their language and script both. So these kind of things are very much fascinating. So it is not only reading the scripts, but so many other factors are there that we work on while working on the manuscripts. And so they use ka, ka, ki, ki, ku, ku, ke, kai, ko, ko, kam, ka. So it is 12. 12 into 2, 24. And then ka, ka, ki, ki, and it goes on like that. So what fascinated me, I read some books and I was from South Indian manuscripts and I was reading that in Grantha manuscripts, the paginations are also like that, but they have they are la also there. And then in Malayalam manuscripts pagination, they have na as one and na as two, and like that. They have their own system. So what occurred to me is that this suggests that this tradition might have been introduced from South India to Sri Lanka and from Sri Lanka to Thailand with Buddhism, or directly from South India to Sri Lanka and Thailand, both in 2 ways. It could be possible in both ways. So, however, we need to work more on it and to find out very concrete evidence for that. And these days, I'm trying to study some more the pagination of some other parts of manuscripts from other parts of India. And therefore, this research project is not limited. It does not limit its scope of study to the written words, but also attaches importance to the manuscript culture that lies in the base of the manuscript. The aim is to carry out international and interdisciplinary research and beliefs, research of the script, language, cultures, and beliefs of South and Southeast Asia, and where we know that it is needless to say that Indian culture has a great influence and contribution to that. So in short, it is not only based on philological studies, but also on wider aspects of manuscript studies, and by comparing and examining Buddhist culture concerning manuscripts in India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Myanmar, and other southern, like Laos also, Southeast Asian countries, where manuscript study traditions still exist. That is very important actually, still exist and occupy an important place in their day-to-day life. So the receptivity of Buddhism in various cultures may be made clear. That for that we are working, we are having a wider vision of our manuscript work in my project. And some of my friends in NMM, they were asking about the preservation. So I just had 2-3 photos I would like to show that. That is preservation they have in the traditional way and the modern technique both. In traditional way, they use the upon. Upon is a kind of Japanese turmeric. It looks like raw turmeric actually. And upon dyed yellow cloth they use, and traditional paper they use. What I have seen in the conservation center called Japanese tissue they are calling. So we call the washi actually. And we use their Polonia boxes and a traditional bookcase also we use. That I will show you. And with the modern technique, it's dust-free, temperature and humidity controlling and protecting from earthquake was the biggest problem for us, and fire also, and deoxidation and other things as everywhere it is happening. So it is in the underground, and you can see we work in the underground, and it is like bank locker. So with the earthquake and fire also, it is safe. So that is how it is kept there. This is upon dyed the yellow cloth, and then they tie it like this and in the Polonia box, because it is porous and Japan is an island country with lots of humidity, so it helps us to breathe. It helps it breathe. And this is for the paper books. So this is a book, right side, and the left side is the cover. So this cover is working like substituting the Polonia box, you can say, and the turmeric dyed cloth, you can say. It is called chitsu, and you can see it is threefold, and you can put in the middle you put the paper manuscript, and then you just wrap it up and it is like this. So it is then protected. And this is made of washi as you were using for conservation. And some of the chitsu, they are very beautiful with woven silk, and those that belongs to the nobles and the royal personalities. So, while Indology and Indology manuscript research is mainly concerned with creating the diplomatic edition, critical edition, translation work, our research project aims to undertake comprehensive research on various aspects of Indology, Buddhology, and manuscriptology using Buddhist manuscripts in the university's collection and other manuscripts from a comparative viewpoint. So, this is how I just draw the diagram to know. And you see, Buddhist manuscripts have so many factors too, and in the accessories sometimes we have many other things, scribe and the belt of the Uposatha belt of the monks, and so many other things are there. So that tell a lot about the manuscript itself from the first glance. And then what another important thing we are taking is that the religious view. And this manuscript, so all these things they are forming, I have taken a name for the manuscript culture. And this manuscript culture, on the base of this manuscript culture, you find people's religious faith. If people's religious faith had not been there, then we would not have got any manuscript until now, handed down since generation. And just to tell you one thing, that in Sadharma Pundarika Sutra, around 1st, 2nd century, they are telling the date, so the Mahayana text, it says elaborately about the preservation and conservation of manuscripts, and if you worship manuscript, then what kind of merits you get by that. It is like worshipping thousands of Buddhas. So this kind of religious sentiments of the people, it must have created a big awareness among the people those days. No, we must keep them carefully. That is why we are getting a lot of manuscripts in the Gandhara area and Gilgit, and from the excavation in the stupas, So this ignoring this religious sentiments of the people, manuscript work is not enough. That's what we think, and we are giving a very primary importance to that while working on. Otherwise, it is just an accumulation of letters, nothing else, without the religious sentiment behind it. So I just skip only one thing, then I will skip the rest of that. We are having a joint research group with Heidelberg University Classical Indology Department. I was there guest professor for 1 year in 2017, and that's why we developed manuscriptology and digital humanities. And what we are doing there, trying to connect the ancient with the modern. How we can do better the manuscript studies with the modern technology, both editing, digitalization, all the aspects there. And we have online lecture series, workshops. So I will send from onwards the links to Professor Anil Das also, so that he can advertise it if you are interested. It is completely free of cost. Please do join. Yes. Yeah. And so what we are trying to, in this way, we are trying to creating a network between things and people. Things means the manuscript, and people who can work on them. They don't have the manuscript or manuscript culture, but the Western scholars, they are helping us with the other aspects of Indology and Buddhology. And I'll come to the last one. So this one it is not only Buddhist manuscripts. In Japan, we have the Mahabharata in Korea, and that I am working since a long time. It's a Vanaparva, found with manuscripts discovered from a temple. And Professor, they are telling it is around the end of last part of 17th century, but somehow I didn't. So date is not important, but the manuscript itself is important. And in this place I would like to thank Professor Sahu from Sahu from JNU, offering the Odia chair to publish that in this year. Okay. Yeah. So this is the manuscript, and I'm not going into details because we are left in time, and I will give you the details to Professor Das if you are interested. Tokyo University is the national university in Japan. They have just last year have opened 57 manuscripts with more than 6,000 folios digitized, and all are open online. And they are having Amarapus and other things also. This is another manuscript, another temple. They have the Buddha's relics. Actually, I forgot to tell you this manuscript, how did they reach us? It has a big contribution of Indian government. In 1886-87, when the Tattvabodh relics was excavated, that time India gave a small part of relics to Siam, Thailand, and Siam again gave us to Japan, and our university priest come professors. We have most of them are priest come professors. They went to receive that, and that time King of Siam donated all these royal manuscripts to us, and it arrived to us. So actually the credit goes to India in general. So it arrived to us. The manuscripts are in the library, in our university since 1909. And the relics are enshrined in this temple. It is in Nami, in the Japan. So what I mean to say that this kind of many we are having many scattered manuscripts in temples and organizations and personal collections. One person is having Chandi Saptasati and Govada Prayashchita Nirupana Sutra. They asked me, it is in Oriya but Sanskrit, Oriya script, Sanskrit founded. So that kind of things are lying in a scattered way. What I would like to propose here and suggest here because now we have the MOU, directors, with your kind permission, if it's possible, we can have make a catalog and a database of Indic manuscripts in Japan, and those scattered things we can keep together so that we have a overall view of the Indic manuscripts there. And with this, actually, I would like to conclude. And this MOU is not the beginning, but a continuation of the friendly relationship that was started with Honorable Dr. Ravindra Prasadji. And I believe it will serve as the bridge to connect India and Japan on an intellectual platform. Thank you so much.
Dear Dr. Shobha Rani and all the distinguished scholars, experts, and would-be experts here, Director of NNM, and all of you. It's a great pleasure to meet her and listen to her. And it's so fascinating for me that when we talk about Higashi Hawaji and Otani University, the connection between, when you said that priest professors. So this is actually the combination of Jnanodaya and Dharmadaya. So with Buddhism, you will see this aspect. I'm going to cut short everything that I want to say because I have to go for another urgent meeting. So I'll be very, very brief, but just bring out a few points that I can't stop myself. So it's an amazing factor that Jnanodaya and Dharmadaya and even Rajyodaya should be added. As you will see in the flag of Mongolia, that there are two major pillars. One represents state and the other represents dharma. And dharma is protected, promoted by monks and scholars. So it's a great pleasure to have you and to listen to you because Otani University, because the Otani expedition, they had a very good collection from Central Asia. So maybe it's not there in the University. They have scattered because it was the Otani expedition that had brought a rich collection from Central Asia, and that also has to be, I think, taken care of. And when she was talking about the Hindu deities, I just wanted to share with you that my PhD degree is on Junite, on the 12 Vedic deities. Indra, so they are still worshipped in thousands of Shingon monasteries, temples today. So when we talk of India's cultural relations and we talk about Shingon sect, Shingon is the closest sect because they preserve so many Vedic traditions like performing of Homa, etc. So I'm not going into the details. So when you talked about Kubera, Vaishravana and Kubera are slightly confused in Japan, and I have a research paper on Vaishravana long ago I wrote it, I will send it to you. And Monk Shimran, yes, she was talking about the monks. You see, one of the monks, Shimran, like this. There are so many monks in Japan who are traveling long distances, talking to people, preaching the Dharma, and their life was so dedicated to Dharma. And this is why Dharma could be preserved, not only in Japan but all over. When you looked at a temple, you see in Japan, China, Korea, a building for a temple and building for a government office or a palace, they have the same architectural design because initially the tradition began in China that the same radical was used for a palace and for a temple because it was for them the same. So some even palaces were converted into temples, so I'm not going into that. Okay. So Horyuji. Yeah, I just wanted to share one incident with you that in Horyuji, the name Horyuji means Dharma Vardhana Mahavihara. That is the oldest existing temple in Japan, and the murals in its golden hall were burned. I'm not going into the details how and when, but when the murals were burned, the Japanese thronged to Horyuji, crying bitterly, and the Minister of Culture had to resign because it is the responsibility of our ministers to protect this. So this is the way how Japan has preserved. Presentation of catalogue youth. I had also published the catalogue of Mongolian Tanjore last year. And I would, you have received a copy?
Yes, we have to.
Okay, that's good. So I wanted to give you. For many years, maybe for a few decades in the academia, it was considered the Japanese manuscript of Gupta period of Krishna Paramita Hriday and Ushresh Vidya, the two manuscripts in Horyuji monastery that were taken to Japan for promulgation of the Constitution of Japan. You can never have this kind of an example that for promulgation of any constitution a Sanskrit mantra is chanted. उसकी प्राण प्रतिष्ठा की गई, संविधान की प्राण प्रतिष्ठा संस्कृत के मंत्रों से भारत में करके दिखाई नहीं हो पाएगी। तो ऐसे बहुत सारे उदाहरण हैं जिनके विषय में हम लोग बहुत विस्तार से चर्चा करना चाहेंगे। And there are a few points. Central Asian collection, as we told, they are all scattered, but Otani expedition brought a very good collection, and the Sanskrit manuscripts there, our Central Asian collection is there in our National Museum also, but unfortunately the work that the scholars abroad are doing is not being done, unfortunately, in our country. So I just wanted to know the 768 first printed matter. What is that that is printed? Is it a Dharani?
They are all Dharani.
They are all Dharani.
Yeah, 1 million script.
Oh, that I know. Because you see, जो उन्होंने आपको बताया 1 million stupa. What does it mean? क्योंकि जब हमें पुण्य प्राप्त करना है, and I want to एक बार आप 108 बार माला फेरते हैं या 1000 बार 1008 बार बैठते ऐसे तो लक्ष्य पूजा होती थी। We have to have लक्ष्य पूजा, मतलब कि 1 लाख वो हम लोग आप जम्मू में जाएंगे मंदिर में तो वहाँ आप देखेंगे 1 लाख शिवलिंग है। तो each time it is not possible to make like a million pagodas were to be made, but it is not possible. So what they were doing is that make one and insert the dharani inside, and that is the beginning of wood block printing. From here it started कि उसका जो बनाते थे जैसे वो हमारे यहाँ टप्पा लगाते हैं ना, ऐसे करके 1 लाख स्तूप अगर आपको बनाना है, I'm not giving you the exact. अगर किसी if you are going to do some पूजा की बोधिसत्व की, for example, अवलोकितेश्वर की आपको पूजा करनी है, you want to do it 1 million times or 1 lakh times, 100,000 times. So what they used to do is टप्पा लगाते थे उसका और उसको एक बड़ी मूर्ति बना के उसको नीचे से उसमें डाल देते. So there are a number of examples, such examples that I used to talk when I was teaching history of Japanese art at the National Museum. My postdoctoral thesis was also on Shikatsu. Okay, yeah. So she talked about. I just wanted to clarify a few things because I know what Indians, as Indians, we know and we need to know. So gold and lacquer, it's all so common because in Buddhism or in Hinduism, whenever there is dharma, then we want to do our best. If you are chanting, you try to be the best voice. If you are dancing, if you are making a manuscript, writing a manuscript, so there are manuscripts written with सप्त रत्न जो 7 प्रकार के रत्नों का 7 gems ink बनाते थे, कभी gold के बनाते थे, कभी silver के बनाते थे, and they used to have layers. For example, 1 layer of silk, then apply lacquer, then another layer of silk, then apply lacquer, then make it thick, and then they used to write with gold, silver, and gem. So it's amazing. Wrapping with cloth is important because it protects manuscripts. And colors are also important. As somebody was telling me about the color of a cloth that is used for wrapping a manuscript, that is also important. Then you talked about turmeric. Turmeric protects from insects. In our kitchens, normally we use turmeric. If there are ants, you put some turmeric. Anything that you want to protect, you use turmeric. So it's a commonly used. Rice paper, I was wondering, do you have any manuscripts of rice paper and cotton paper?
It's cotton paper, I don't know, but rice
You see,
paper.
rice से बनाते हैं ना Tibetan style.
No, I don't know.
So actually, I wanted to make it clear there is a lot of controversy about production of paper. That who was the first to produce paper, or about India there is a narrative that India got a paper only when the Arabs came. And some people say it is China that was the first. But I have written a small article on it, that who was the first to produce paper. But another narrative, another point that I want to bring to your the NMM department especially, that there are many kinds of paper. One is cotton paper. हम लोग रुई से, कपास से बनाते थे. उसके बाद जो है जब चाइना में आप रेडिकल्स देखते हैं उसके, सो दे आर डिफरेंट. आपका जो पेपर बनता है कॉटन पेपर, दैट इज डिफरेंट, प्लीज रिटर्न. एंड जो आपका प्लांट से बनता है दैट इज डिफरेंट. एंड देन राइस पेपर एंड सिल्क पेपर, सिल्क वाज आल्सो यूज्ड. एंड देन देयर इज जो अरेबियन स्टाइल ऑफ पेपर है. अभी recently struck to my mind that when we were children and we used to bind our school books, so last में वो उसके ऊपर कवर चढ़ाते थे गद्दे के ऊपर, so that was called abri paper. So I was just thinking that the paper what we were called abri paper, somebody has written that it was glazed paper. जो Arabic paper है, that is the glazed kind of a paper. So that is different kind of a paper from the Indian paper, from the Chinese paper, from the Tibetan style of paper. So Arabi or Abri, I'm not sure, but this came to my mind, so I thought I should share with you. And IOP, Indian Institute of the Sopaga they have a very good collection, and Lotus Sutra they have the best, I think, the complete Lotus Sutra that is also discovered from Central Asia. So working on Central Asian collections is also really very challenging. I have seen some collections, for example, in Berlin. How small pieces! I will just send you some. I have one of the Japanese professor, unfortunately passed away. He was a very good friend and very good scholar of Sanskrit. How he works, Seishi Karashima, how we had gathered stick with small pieces of the same page of a manuscript. One was from St. Petersburg, another was from the British Library, and another was different collections. Say he collected and he could identify and bring them to them. So this is the way the Japanese are working. We really respect them so much for the dedication and the hard work, intense work that they are doing. And I will send you some photographs of the manuscript that they discovered from a dry river bed. Suddenly they must be very important. So suddenly there was a river bed that was being excavated for construction, or suddenly they discovered manuscripts. They are हुआ क्या? Why they were manuscripts were there? Because जैसे हम लोग पूजा करने जाते हैं भगवान से कहते हैं कि भगवान हमें ये दो हम ये करेंगे, पूजा करते हैं, कुछ चढ़ाते हैं. तो जापान में there is a tradition कि वो जाके जो अपनी इच्छा है उसके लिए you have a manuscript and offer to the temple. And now what the temple will do, इतने सारे उनके पास इकट्ठा हो जाते हैं. They used to immerse in water. Or the ink still has not faded. Ink is so special in Japan. Sumiye ke liye use karte hain. That is amazing. And even after remaining in water, after being immersed into river, you can read them. It's amazing. So there is a lot and about, but I would like to say that Dr. Shobha, because you are in Japan, and because of all my research that I have been doing for years and years. So what I found is that it is an under-researched area, that what kind of direct relations were there with India. Because I can see when I study history of art of Japan, I can see direct influences from South India to Japan. That is not research. For example, the Hiragana katakana systems. Akasatana. And finally, there is a nasalized sound Om, and that is only in Tamil. So how it, and for example, they call Bodhidharma is called Dharma, so it's very South Indian kind of a pronunciation. There are many such instances. So there is a lot that has to be researched from the Indian side also. There is not much that is doing. So hope I wish the best for preparing a catalogue that should soon come. It should not be delayed because it's a long awaited project, and Indians should contribute. And they can. They have the capacity of doing it. So I hope with these words, because of rushing for another meeting, I'm sorry. And Japan is in my heart and soul. And always we shall be working on this more. And there is a lot that we can do together. And all the best for you, and please convey my regards to the university, my greetings, and best wishes to the NMM and also to the Otani University, being a lifelong disciple of Lokesh Chandra-ji, and working on his father, how he was the first actually who invited scholars, not scholars, students from Japan, Chikyo Yamamoto, he was in person. And we have stayed together with him, and he came here, and we had a very good relationship with Professor Chike Yamamoto. He was the first who was invited by the Vidya. There was one more, I'm forgetting the name now. So, and when the institute was started, Dr. Vishnandra's Institute, International Academy of Indian Culture, the first donation was given by a Japanese scholar. It was for 51 rupees. So with this, the institute was started, and unfortunately, everything he lost after the partition. So many things got lost, unfortunately, but still whatever we have, it's a great treasure. And with these words, I'm thankful to you for inviting me and meeting you especially. And
Thank you. What a great congregation. Three scholars, Professor Shobha Rani.
Interrupt you. Just one minute I would like to say that please convey my regards to and Otani's regard to Dr. Lokesh Chandra, and tell him, perhaps he has forwarded, I don't know. We are translating into Japanese, me and one of my colleagues, is Acharya Raghuvira's expedition of China.
Okay.
Copy of that it was in library, and 2/3 is already published and 1/3 is left.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That is the first book on religion.
Yeah.
And you know, when Dr. Vidya was
And
returning,
Betty Harrison is asking us many times to translate that in China and lecture on that, but I'm very scared because I'm still having my Indian passport. I'm very scared because of the contents, you know. And they have this section.
just let me know when you are in a problem.
Thank you very much on behalf of National Mission for Manuscript. What is plenty 3 to 4, it's so informative, eye-opener, and combination of 3 Buddhist scholars, our director, Dr. Adibanga, speaker, and the chairperson. 3 of them are equally scholar, and I didn't see Professor Dr. Ashim Bhavis, and he was the pioneer of the Indian culture promotion, and everybody who has participated, who have participated here, thank you very much. Mission is happy to have this type of lecture here and such a big scholars. Thank you.